precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Danushka Madhavela and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. The President says that the government is planning to establish an international climate change university in Sri Lanka. President's Fund initiates 2 new scholarship programs in accordance with presidential directives. Sri Lanka CVF and Nativa Capital Inc. MOU to enhance sustainable community-scale farming and forest protection. 2023 GCE A-level exam results will be released by the last week of this month. World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day falls today. In foreign news, Trump's classified documents trial in Florida indefinitely postponed. Local news in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that the government is planning to establish an international climate change university in Sri Lanka. He said that 600 acres overlooking the Kotmale Reservoir have already been allocated in this regard. The President emphasized that it should be an international stakeholder university rather than a solely Sri Lankan institution. The President made these remarks at the first International Climate Change Forum at Temple Trees recently. President Wickremesinghe emphasized that Sri Lanka's economic model would be built on competitiveness, digital transition, energy transition, and the transformation to a green economy. He pointed out that the country's small size could be advantageous given its potential for excess green energy, including solar, wind power, and hydrogen. However, Sri Lanka currently lacks the expertise to formulate detailed plans for this transition. To address this, the country is reaching out to multilateral development banks and bilateral partners to obtain the necessary knowledge and support. As per the instructions of President Ranil Wickremesinghe, the President's Fund has initiated 2 additional scholarship programs alongside the ongoing scholarship initiatives. These scholarships will be extended to monks, nuns and lay students enrolled in Pirven and Silamata educational institutions, as well as those pursuing information and communication technology at GCE advanced level, effective from May 2024. The scholarship distribution will cover all 822 Pirven and Silamata educational institutions across the country. A total of 6 scholarships will be granted to each institution. The selection of scholarship recipients from the respective departments, Silamata educational institutions, will be the responsibility of the Parivenadipati Thera Institution Director. Scholarships will be granted in 2 categories, with an anticipated 5,000 scholarships set aside for lay scholars. Under the first category, scholarships will amount to 3,000 rupees per month for 12 months beginning in May 2024. The second category will offer scholarships at 6,000 rupees per month for a duration of 24 months. In accordance with President Ranil Wickremesinghe's strategic vision, the government is poised to initiate a pioneering pilot project in the Anuradhapura district, earmarking a substantial investment of $100 million to revolutionize agricultural practices. The requisite agreement has been formally executed, with Navita Company of Portugal signifying a significant milestone in the project's progression. With a total investment of $100 million, each farming family stands to benefit from an allocation of $6,000, facilitating the implementation of solar pumps and other energy projects for sustainable agriculture. Under the guidance of President Ranil Wickremesinghe and with pivotal support from Mohammad Nasheed, this initiative underscores Sri Lanka's dedication to addressing climate change and advancing sustainable development. The execution of the project on the ground will be driven by a collaboration between Our Movement Lanka organization and Nativa Capital, with oversight from the government of Sri Lanka. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news. We continue with more stories.
your next generation digital banking partner, People's Bank.
We continue with more local stories. The Examination Department has announced that the results of the 2023 General Certificate of Education Advanced Level Examination are expected to be released around the last week of this month. A total of 346,976 students participated in the 2023 GCE A-Level examination, which was conducted in January this year. Among the examinees, there were 281,445 school applicants, while 65,531 were private candidates. This substantial number of candidates highlights the importance of the A-level examination in Sri Lanka's educational system. As students eagerly anticipate their results, the forthcoming release will be a crucial moment for those who have diligently prepared and undertaken the examination. World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day falls today. World Red Cross Day and Red Crescent Day is an annual celebration of the principles of the International Red Cross Day and Red Crescent Day. World Red Cross Day is also known as Red Crescent Day. World Red Cross Day and Red Crescent Day is celebrated on 8th of May every year. This date is the birth anniversary of Henry Dunant, who was born on 8th May 1828 at Geneva, Switzerland, and died on the 30th of October 1910 at Hayden, Switzerland. He was the founder of International Committee of the Red Cross and the recipient of the first Nobel Peace Prize in 1901. World Red Cross Day's theme this year is I Give with Joy, and the joy I give is a reward. People are reminded of the significance of compassion, love, affection, support, and treatment on this day. It also upholds the principles, mission, values, and activities of the organization. That's local news for the moment.
Enjoy seamless shopping, open LCs, settle bills and transfer funds instantly, anywhere and anytime. With People's Bank Digital Solutions, you're empowered to do more, whenever and wherever you want. Unlock a world of modern banking conveniences with People's Bank, your next generation digital banking partner, People's Bank.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
A 16-member delegation comprising of participants in the National Security and War Course 2023-2024 of the National Defence University of Pakistan paid a courtesy call on Secretary to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Aruni Vijayawardena yesterday at the Foreign Ministry. The delegation, which included both senior military and civil officials, is presently in Sri Lanka as part of their course study tour to countries in the region. Foreign Secretary Aruni Vijayawardena, in her welcome remarks to the delegation, highlighted the strong ties and close cooperation that exist between Sri Lanka and Pakistan. Director of the Foreign Secretary's Bureau, Maxwell Kegel, delivered a presentation on the foreign policy of Sri Lanka, which was followed by a brief interactive session. The Pakistani defence delegation was led by Air Commander Faisal Fazal Mohammed Khan, Director General of the South Asia Division of the Ministry, Niluka Kadrugamur, and senior officers of the Sri Lanka Army were also present. The cooperation between Sri Lanka and Pakistan in the defence sector covers multiple areas of mutual interest.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
Minister Dr. Ramesh Patirana announced that the forthcoming Industry Expo 2024 will grace the PMICH from the 19th to the 23rd of June under the patronage of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Additionally, the minister highlighted the debut of the inaugural international conference alongside the prestigious Industry Green Awards ceremony aimed at fostering a culture of sustainable practices within the industry that came to you on Watchlight. And world news headlines. Trump's classified documents trial in Florida indefinitely postponed. Israel takes Rafah crossing in Gaza as truce talks continue. At least 2 dead, 21 injured in hospital stabbing in China. World news in detail. A judge has indefinitely postponed Donald Trump's federal trial in Florida over his alleged mishandling of classified documents while in office. U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon said that setting a trial date before resolving significant questions over trial evidence would be imprudent. Her court order on Tuesday cancelled the 20th May 2024 start date she had previously set for the proceedings. The trial is now unlikely to begin before the 5th of November U.S. election. Mr. Trump's lawyers have proposed that the trial to be held after his presidential rematch with Joe Biden, his successor in the White House. Prosecutors, meanwhile, have pushed for it to take place this year. The Israeli military says its troops have taken operational control of the Palestinian side of the Rafah border crossing between Gaza and Egypt. Rafah has been a key entry point for aid and the only exit for people able to flee since the start of the war between Israel and Hamas in October. A tank brigade moved into the crossing area after a night of intense strikes. With Israel's Kerem Shalom crossing also closed, the UN warned Gaza's two main aid arteries were now choked off. On Tuesday, the White House said it had been told Kerem Shalom would reopen on Wednesday. On Monday, the Israeli military ordered tens of thousands of civilians to begin evacuating nearby eastern parts of Rafah city ahead of what is called a limited operation to eliminate Hamas fighters and dismantle infrastructure. Finally, on world news, a knife attack at a hospital in southwest China has left at least 2 people dead and 21 others injured. The stabbing happened at 11:37 local time at Zhenjiang People's Hospital in Yunnan province, the police said. Images published by China's The Paper showed a man in black wielding knives in both hands inside the hospital. Police said the suspect is from Poji town in Zhenjiang. It was unclear if he has been arrested. State media reports earlier said 23 people were injured, but officials have revised the toll downwards. At present, the injured are receiving treatment in the hospital. Investigations are ongoing, police said in a statement. That's world news.
Development news.
High Commissioner of Sri Lanka to Singapore, Senarat Dissanayake, paid a courtesy call on Minister for Foreign Affairs of Singapore, Dr. Vivian Balakrishnan, recently at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Singapore. During the call, the High Commissioner recalled the long-standing relations between Sri Lanka and Singapore and expressed gratitude to the government of Singapore for the invaluable assistance extended to Sri Lanka over the years, particularly during the challenging period in the recent past. The Foreign Minister congratulated High Commissioner Dissanayake on his appointment as Sri Lanka's new envoy to Singapore and extended his best wishes for a fruitful tenure that would further enhance the ties between the two countries.
Moving on with sports news.
In soccer, despite a disappointing domestic campaign, Borussia Dortmund are one game away from becoming European champions for the second time in their history. Edin Terzic's side produced a superb team performance to beat Paris Saint-Germain 1-0 in Tuesday's semi-final second leg to complete a 2-0 aggregate victory. Dortmund, 5th in the Bundesliga, will face either fellow German side Bayern Munich or Spanish champions Real Madrid in the final at Wembley on the 1st of June. And on cricket update, Scotland will face England in this autumn's Women's T20 World Cup after losing against Sri Lanka in the final of the ICC qualifier in Abu Dhabi. The Scots had already secured their first appearance in the tournament by reaching the last 2, but could not land the silverware as they were defeated by 68 runs. The loss also means they join Group B in the tournament itself and will play the host nation Bangladesh, South Africa and West Indies before facing England in Dhaka on the 14th of October.
Go ekakiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna as wahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship ekamenna The all-new NSB Itru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
TikTok has filed a lawsuit aiming to block a US law that would ban the video app in the country unless it is sold by its Chinese parent company. In the filing, the social media company called the act an extraordinary intrusion on free speech rights of the company and its 170 million American users. It said the US had put forward only speculative concerns to justify the measure and asked the court to stop it. President Joe Biden signed the bill into law last month, citing national security justifications.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth ekata life ekේ change ekata niyamata set wenna as wahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyamata set wenna friendship ekata menna. The all new NSB Itru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
And on economic news, the US has opened a new inquiry into troubled jet firm Boeing after the company told air safety regulators that it might not have properly inspected its 787 Dreamliner planes. The Federal Aviation Administration said it would look into whether staff had falsified records. It said Boeing was re-inspecting all 787 jets on the manufacturing line. Boeing will be forced to develop an action plan to address concerns about planes already in service, it added. Boeing did not comment, and that's on economic news.
Weather report.
Another weather update: an enhancement of showery condition over most parts of the island is expected during the next few days from today. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in most provinces of the island after 2 p.m. Fairly heavy showers, about 75 millimeters, are likely at some places in North Central, Subargamu and Ubu provinces. A few showers may occur over the coastal areas of Puttalam to Hambantota via Colombo and Galle during the morning too. That's the weather update. Before we wind up the bulletin of news, back to the headlines. The President said that the government is planning to establish an international climate change university in Sri Lanka. President's Fund initiates 2 new scholarship programs in accordance with presidential directives. Sri Lanka CVF and Nativa Capital Inc. MOU to enhance sustainable community-scale farming and forest protection. 2023 GCE A-level examination results will be released by the last week of this month. World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day falls today. Foreign news: Trump's classified documents trial in Florida indefinitely postponed. With that, we conclude the morning bulletin of news, and it's back to Anupama to give you some good company.